Hi, it's Kai. Today we are going to be doing a Talking My Trash video, which is basically me going through all of my empties and reviewing the products that I finished up recently. I actually had started recording this video and my microphone was not hooked up properly, so I just recorded like 3 or 4 products with no sound, but it's okay. We'll go back through them, and so that I conserve my voice and energy, we'll just stop the chatter here and get straight into it. I usually start with laundry because, as I always say, if your laundry doesn't smell good, your body doesn't smell good in like a hygiene way, then the fragrances we will talk about later probably aren't going to do much for you. So I like to use the Clorox laundry sanitizer. I've talked about this a few times. If you can hear my cat, she is in the hallway yelling because sometimes she likes to just go in the hallway and yell. Come here, sweet pea. Anywho, I like to use the Clorox laundry sanitizer, and honestly I switch off between the Clorox and the Lysol one depending on which one is on sale, which one has a coupon available, which stores have it for the cheapest price. That's just kind of the name of the game right now, but I do like both of them. This one has the clean linen scent, which is that clean classic laundry detergent soapy linen type of scent to it, and I really like these. As I've said before, for sanitizing towels especially, it helps get that musty type of scent out of towels, or it keeps your towels from having that scent. But it's also really good if you are a forgetful person like myself, if you have ADHD, executive functioning, again, just forgetful in general, and you often leave your wet laundry in the laundry, what is that called, the washing machine, and then it starts smelling a little mildewy. This allows me to leave my laundry in the washing machine and it not smell mildewy, so I don't have to rewash them in order to put them in the dryer and then add even more to my to-do list. So fully something that I recommend, but again, just get whichever one is cheaper. I also really enjoyed the Miss Meyer's Clean Day Birchwood laundry detergent. This has that alpine kind of woody, but like a luxury hotel type of woody scent to it. It sticks to the clothes really nicely, especially in combination with like scent beads and stuff like that. I don't think they have matching scent beads for this. I want to say they have this and maybe dryer sheets and fabric softener. I really wish they had their scent boosters in this scent. If they did, I would be snapping them up because I would love to have this even more boosted. It lasts and smells pretty fragrant on your clothes, on your bedding. I really liked it for bedding. With the scent boosters, it would probably be even like the alpineness would come out and just really make your entire house smell like a luxury hotel. But again, I really like this. The only thing preventing me from repurchasing this right now is the fact that the only place in my area that currently sells this scent specifically is Target, and I am not interested in going to Target, so I'll probably buy something else in the meantime and then maybe revisit this by going on their website, maybe when I need like hand soaps or other household items, so that I'm not just buying the one laundry detergent, because I sometimes feel as though like I don't want to buy one thing when I'm buying something online, because I just feel as though the shipping for one item, even if it is, you know, a little bit heavier like a laundry detergent would be, and it just feels like it's not worth it, if that makes sense. Why are we standing in the hallway and yelling? Hi. Hi. Do you want to come up? Okay. You're in the video? Your mad mama started recording without you? Moving along, I think I've talked about this in an Empties or in my last Empties. This is the Arm & Hammer Clean Sensations Cool Woods In-Wash Scent Boosters, and I have been using these. I really enjoy them. It's kind of been my favorite scent booster of the moment, and my biggest gripe with them is that I feel like the Arm & Hammer ones don't last quite as long out the wash and like in the dryer or out the dryer. I feel as though the scent is a little bit lighter, especially when you run the clothes through the dryer versus, you know, just air drying. I mainly air dry my comforter because it's a little bit too big to fit in the dryer, so I feel like I can smell this a little bit more on my comforter than on the sheets that I ran through the dryer, if that makes sense. But this scent in particular has kind of that woody alpine scent, but there's also a little bit of a powdery floral undertone to it. It's just a little bit more florally, and it kind of reminds me of Irish Spring if Irish Spring smelled like slightly more floral. I'm pretty sure these are on sale or like buy one get one free in my area at one of the stores. I think it's Publix this week, so I'm probably going to go pick up another 2 of them since I'm done with this one, and I have maybe another 2 weeks worth of the bottle that I'm currently on, but because I know that I really like this scent, I don't mind stocking up on it. And that was all the laundry for this month. Into body care, the first thing I have is the Native body wash. This is the sugar cookie scent, which is one of their limited edition holiday scents, and I bought this like 2 holidays ago. So this, granted, I have a lot of body washes and like to switch and, use different scents. I don't use the same body wash every single night, but because you have to use so little of this, it does give a really nice lather with, just a little dot of it. I feel like this lasted forever, and it kind of did last forever. The scent is a wonderful kind of buttery, sweet sugar cookie type of scent. It's really delectable. I feel like there are other, Bath and Body products that have a similar scent, which is the reason why I didn't feel the need to stock up on it during the holidays versus, just waiting for the holidays to come back around. It's one that probably this upcoming year, depending on how many body washes I still have to get through, because I do have quite a few that have been in my backlog, but depending, I could see myself repurchasing this, during the holiday season. But again, I feel like there are other things that give a similar type of, cookie or cake batter vanillic vibe that I already have and that are available year round, so I didn't feel the need to stock up on it. I don't feel like it was too stripping to the skin or anything, so again, that's one that I would repurchase. This next one I talked about more in my recent Project Pan update, but it's the Mega Babe Le Touche Clarifying Butt Mask, and I wanted to finish this because a clarifying butt mask, as I've said before, is just not something that I'm really going to use, so I did finish it up. It was okay. I mainly used it as an all over body exfoliant, and I feel like the physical exfoliant granules in this were a little bit too gentle for my body. I like something a little bit rougher, and so for that reason I probably wouldn't even repurchase this as a scrub, but I'm glad that I finished it because it did get sent to me, but I really wanted to give a product a nice try. But I just, again, like I said, I feel like products like these can be those where it's a brand telling us about an insecurity instead of fixing an actual problem. I finished the Body by TPH, the Leave-On Hydrating Daily Body Lotion in the Mandarin and Ginger scent, which I have raved about. I absolutely love this. I have the Mandarin and Ginger body spray, and I'm really happy I have that because apparently it's been out of stock in a lot of areas and on like Walmart.com, because that's where this is available. And a lot of people have just been saying that they're trying to find it but can't. And I think even the lotion they've been trying to find, if I'm being honest, the formulation of this lotion isn't my favorite. It's not one that is very nourishing. It's a little bit drier. And I also don't really like the combination of the formulation with the pump that this is in, because this is a very, as you can see, short pump, and it doesn't pump out enough. Like, you have to pump it a whole bunch of times to get even a little bit, like one leg's worth of lotion out. So I ended up just unscrewing it and, shaking it out of the bottle anyway. If they maybe had their body butter formulation in this scent, I might be more prone to repurchasing it, but I think I'm just going to stick to the body spray for now. Maybe there's other body products I can mix it with that'll, have an orangey or an orange ginger, citrus ginger type of vibe to it that will fill in the hole that this scent or like a body care product in that scent would be, but I don't like the formula enough to repurchase. This is actually home care. I finished the replica Afternoon Delight candle. They so graciously sent this to me, and if I'm being honest, I liked the candle so much more than I liked the perfume. In my opinion, the perfume had a lactonic milkiness that went a little bit spoiled, which isn't unusual for me with some milky scents. I feel like they either capture the kind of more fluffy, almost marshmallowy, milky type of vibe, like Lucky Charms in milk, versus a like milk note. And when it's a milk note, again, I feel like my nose just kind of leans a little bit more spoiled with it. But this is definitely sweeter than the perfume, and again, doesn't have as much of that lactonicness. It's more of like a smooth creaminess. Their candles are super expensive, so I could see getting this, you know, on a sale, or even the Sephora sale that passed. That would be a time I would purchase these, but I did really enjoy it. And if you're a person who likes to spend a lot of money on a candle, I would recommend this one if you like gourmand scents but want something that's light. Like, it had a good scent bubble, it filled up the room, but it didn't feel like one of those heavy cakey gourmand fragrances. I believe this is discontinued, but it's the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Dark Spots. I got sent this through Influencer a while ago, and on my face it broke me out. It has 4% niacinamide and 1% ethyl vitamin C, which with the vitamin C in there, it does make me a little bit skeptical, because from my understanding, a good vitamin C serum, and maybe because vitamin C isn't the main star in this one, that's why that didn't apply, but to my understanding, vitamin C is supposed to be in a darker packaging because it's really photoreactive. My skin also just doesn't really like niacinamide. Too much niacinamide definitely breaks me out, and I noticed this breaking me out on my face, so I actually finished it up by using it all over the body. This also has a florally but slightly apple cider vinegar type of scent to it, and we all know how I feel about apple cider vinegar and things that smell like it. Not good. So I again think it's discontinued anyway, but if it weren't discontinued, I wouldn't recommend it. I finished one of the Lip Bar Total Meltdown makeup remover balms. This is my favorite makeup remover balm of the moment. It gets all of my makeup off without making my face feel greasy or slick or oily. It doesn't fog up my contacts really bad, and I really like that it comes with this little spatula in it. It's very convenient. So I will continue to repurchase this over and over again as long as it is in stock where I can purchase it. I also finished the Dear Cloud Sunny Defense SPF stick. It is SPF 50 broad spectrum PA++++, and is made in Korea. I think Dear Cloud is kind of a Korean inspired or K-beauty inspired brand. They have some skincare, sun care, body care, things like that. Honestly, this was not my favorite. It was a little bit greasy for my personal taste, a little bit oily looking, and I feel like it didn't sink into the skin as well as their lotion one. I also have, I think it's the same name, but just it's a lotion formulation instead. But I like that one a little bit better because it sinks into my skin, and while it makes my skin look healthy and glowy, it doesn't look too dewy. It doesn't feel slick. This sometimes even feels, especially if you're building it up the way that you need to for a sunscreen stick to be effective, it almost felt like slugging with Vaseline on my skin. I did forget to try this over makeup. That's one of the reasons I wanted to try one of these sticks, is to see, because I always see on, TikTok, I will say that they get me, the videos sometimes get me too, but like the people who use sunscreen sticks and they say they have makeup on their face and they go over and the makeup doesn't get on the sunscreen stick. And I'm just really skeptical about that. So I wanted to try it out with this one, but I forgot to. So if you have another sunscreen stick that you enjoy, let me know and I will maybe try another sunscreen stick. But if you also feel as though sunscreen sticks are often greasy, like they have a little bit of that thicker, almost Vaseline-like texture, then maybe they're not for me, I'm willing to concede that. I finished a Phytosurgeon's Verdant Force Field, which is my favorite moisturizer. I love using this on my face. I use it for, what is that called? Like if I get a new tattoo and it's itchy and peeling and stuff, I'll use this to help moisturize the area. I use this for sunburn. I use it for cuts and scrapes. I just use it for everything because it's really hydrating and moisturizing and calming, soothing, healing. It just really does a good job of being an everything type of product. I literally get in here with like a skincare spatula, or a little product spatula to get everything that I can out of this. I have another one that they so thankfully sent me, but I probably need to stock up on this, especially with all of the economic uncertainty. A kind of skincare makeup hybrid that I used up is the Say Slip Tint. This is their broad spectrum SPF 35 sunscreen tinted moisturizer, and I had the shade 8, which was pretty good for someone of my complexion. So if you're around my complexion, this is probably the shade that you want to go towards. Even though according to this little card that I have with the shades, shades 7 and 8, these two right here, they do look pretty similar, so I could probably have flexed between either of them. And this is an okay product. I don't think it's for me. It has that gel type of texture, but on the skin, it is very greasy. It feels very slippy, slidey. When I was blending it out with a brush, I could see the brush streaks on my face and had to like go back over it with a, what is that called, a sponge or something else. But then also with it being so lightweight, I feel like the sponge might pick up a little bit more product than what most people would be looking for. So I could see the appeal of this. However, it is very similar to something that is out there on the market, which is why I don't quite understand why people went so goo goo gaga over this in particular, because it basically has the same texture as the Bare Minerals, I think it's Complexion Rescue Tinted Moisturizer that also has SPF in it. So it really just feels like Say is like the Gen Z clean girl, more aesthetic brand that offers this product, but then the Bare Minerals just has had a traditionally older, I guess, customer. Again, it wasn't my favorite. I actually have that Bare Minerals tinted moisturizer. It's very expired and I need to throw it out, but I really didn't like it that much, which is why I still have it and it's barely used. I also forgot that I had one of the Tom's of Maine toothpastes in here, one of my favorite toothpastes. I have one of those pretty much every Empties video, so I don't think we need to go into that one too in depth. And then these two aren't technically empties as far as I emptied them, but I have to get rid of them, and I talked about it a little bit. I also posted a TikTok showing the applicators of these having fallen off, and it caused a lot of commotion, let's just say that. This is the Kosas Revealer Concealers. I have had these for a while. Like, I definitely disclaim that I've had them for a very long time, but I've also had other concealers for a very long time and have never had the applicator fall off into the product. And so many people were just like, oh, the applicator didn't disintegrate. Number one, I used the word disintegrate in the text, and people were like, well, the applicator didn't disintegrate in there. It's just stuck at the bottom. And I was like, okay, so if it is stuck at the bottom, how did the one piece of the applicator separate from the other? Something had to have disintegrated, and people were trying to literally put the definition. I was like, I think we need to pull up the definition of disintegrate. And someone did, and it literally said to break down or break into smaller pieces. Please tell me how something breaking in two is not breaking into smaller pieces. So I just ended up having to block a whole bunch of people. That is everyone's warning. My block hand is heavy, especially since the whole Stunt Queen show. It's been a place where I have to block to protect my peace. So I would say, make sure if you're going to comment, if you comment something, just double check, read through, make sure that it can't be interpreted in a way that is negative. And if you are trying to leave a negative comment, I mean, you could be doing so many more productive things with your life, but I'll take the attention. Anywho, I decided I'm just going to get rid of these. People were like, oh, just use a brush to get in there. No, if it's an old formula and literally the applicator is coming off, I'm just going to call it done. Like, I'm not going to go through all of that in the way of project pan finishes or other project pan finishes. It flew across there. You're just going to have to, if you want to see the completely blanked out pan, go to the project pan update because I showed it there with the Kosas Cloud Set setting powder. I finished that up. It's a good powder, not necessarily one that I feel super beholden to repurchasing. It's something that I feel like set my under eyes, set my face, didn't move around a whole bunch, wasn't too soul-suckingly matte or anything like that. So again, I did like it. Are there other powders that I am going to use and get through, and probably other ones that I like more than that, that would keep me from wanting to repurchase that? Yes. Then we've got lip products galore. The first one is the Naturium Phyto Glow Lip Balm in the shade Spice, and I really do like this. It is maybe, as far as the thickness and hydration, a step down from the topicals one, which is my personal favorite. I'm never going to, I can't reach it anymore, but I am always going to take a moment to talk about the topicals one. Really love that one, but I like that these come in a wider array of colors. The topicals only comes in clear and then kind of like a berry shade, whereas this spice shade was the perfect My Lips But Better, just evening out my lip color type of shade, and was really easy to throw on. I definitely would repurchase more of these. I want to get some of my other lip balm products done first, but this is definitely one of the ones that is on the top of my list to repurchase once I finish some stuff up. And then I also finished this Tony Moly Toasted Marshmallow Jelly Lip Melt. This was okay. This was, I think, part of their holiday collection. Since it's the toasted marshmallow one, it has that light, slightly vanilla, fluffy vanilla type of scent to it. And honestly, I liked these. It was okay, but I don't feel like it tops the Naturium or the topicals or any of the other lip balms I like more. It has a little bit more of a plushy texture versus a slick or like lip glossy type of texture. But I also find that when I put this on, when it wears off, my lips feel drier than they did before, which doesn't happen quite as much or really at all with the other lip balms that I enjoy. So again, that's just, not my favorite. Probably would not repurchase this. And then lastly is the Buxom Big O, which I finished literally in the Project Pan video, but I'm gonna call it done because it is completely, sloped off. I would have to dig my finger / dig a brush or something into the product to get this out. And because it's a lip balm, I don't feel as much like digging a lip brush in it and applying it does much of anything. Like, it is one of those pH changing lip balms, but I don't care enough about this versus maybe a lipstick where I would dig in to get more actual color payoff. I don't really buy Buxom anymore. I don't really love this. It definitely has that tingling, lip plumping peppermint type of vibe, and it is, like I said, the pH changing lip balm, so it just has that kind of generic bubblegum bright pink that it turns on everyone, which isn't necessarily a bad shade. It's nice. It works for certain occasions, but it's definitely not something that I would repurchase. Even if I did still purchase Buxom products, I wouldn't repurchase that one because there are better lip plumping products out there, and there are also better lip balms. Like, that one, I just feel like wasn't even a good lip balm. And then 2 fragrances I finished, which I have been keeping in my candle vessel from my last Empties, the Guilty Pleasure candle. But the first one, I did not expect to finish this. I kind of was clicking it to put it on, and I just kept clicking and nothing more was coming out, and then the clicker made a weird sound. And I also went over to another one of these that I had and clicked it so I could hear the difference and not just feel like I was going crazy. But this is the Mixbar Cloud Musk fragrance pen. They used to have their travel sizes in these gel fragrance pen formulations, which at the time were really innovative, and I think would actually still be pretty innovative now. I would really enjoy something like this because it felt you know, kind of like a little gel texture, almost like a little gel lotion or something like that. It rubbed into the skin nicely, but it didn't leave like an oil patch like some extraits or more concentrated perfumes can. And if you are more sensitive to alcohol, you weren't spraying alcohol on yourself. So again, a really nice formulation. I wish they would have expanded on this versus getting rid of them. Sometimes you're ahead of the curve and people don't catch up in enough time. And I feel like that was this, because if these launched today, I feel like everyone would be going crazy about them. Cloud Musk in particular is one of those really nice skin musky, slightly woody fragrances. I get a just slight bit of woodiness from it, but it's not something that smells like being outside or being in the woods or, you know, even pencil shaving-y. It just smells like a little bit of maybe tree bark or something. I don't know how to describe woodiness in a way that is like, it's not overwhelming, you know? So I actually do like this. I think I have a like little mini bottle that my older sister got me in a fragrance set they had over the holidays. So I'm grateful for it, because I would definitely at least get a travel size of this. It's a really good, simple skin scent. Nothing too out there, nothing too crazy, but just simple and good. The last fragrance I have is Te Matcha or Te Matcha, I don't know. I said that with a little bit of an accent because I try to pronounce things correctly sometimes, but I don't really know how to pronounce some things in different languages because obviously I'm a native English speaker. But this is Le Monde Gourmand's Te Matcha, and this, despite the name, is not much of a matcha in like an earthy matcha type of fragrance. It's definitely one of those kind of citrusy, slightly green tea, aromatic but clean type of fragrances. So if you're looking for an exact matcha fragrance, this is not going to be your girl. But if you want something that just smells clean, a little citrusy, then you might like this. It kind of smells like a really nice hotel lobby, but like not a woody, luxurious hotel lobby. Like it's still nice, but is a little bit more clean and just not like the warm lighting. Like it's giving more cool lighting, but still a really nice hotel. I don't know if that made sense. Like it kind of is giving Embassy Suites, which I know for some people, maybe that's not a super nice hotel. But to me and my family, growing up, like I loved going to the Embassy Suites. They always had really cool stuff, and they were really big hotels and tall and all of that stuff, and had happy hours and stuff. So I consider that a fancy hotel compared to like, you know, the Days Inn that you go to when you're on a quick little trip or on a trip just in general. Either way, that's what it smells like to me. And if you like those types of scents, then you might enjoy that. But again, if you're looking for something that's more of a straight up matcha, that's not going to get you the earthy matcha that you're looking for. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit of a longer one, as my empties are. Let me know what you were snacking on or drinking while you watch this, and I am going to go get water myself. I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy wherever you are when you're watching this, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.